Us on PM News, and welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Mpilo, thank you. Kindly give us a bit of background into what the International Migrants Day is all about.
Okay, thank you so much. Like you have indicated, this day was really adopted by the United Nations. It's really about acknowledging the contributions and achievements that are made by migrants internationally in terms of contributing to the economies and social development of the host countries. You know, migrants are people who have traveled from their countries of origin and moved to another country for better life. All
right. Now, how is the day commemorated in South Africa, and what does this day mean for ordinary South Africans?
Okay, it's usually celebrated in a number of ways. Like, for instance, people hold seminars, there are marches, and particularly this year, there is an event that was organized in collaboration with some of the international organizations, which is really about promoting dialogues on international migration and, you know, acknowledging the achievements of migrants in South African communities. One of them was held actually today in Soweto. For ordinary South Africans, really, I think we still have a long way to go in terms of conscientizing them about International Migrants Day. Yes, about International Migrants Day. But it is very important that people do recognize that there are many positive contributions that migrants make, as opposed to the current discourse that often champions issues around negative attitudes towards migrants.
Absolutely, they think people are taking over their jobs and their lives.
Definitely.
Now, Mpilo, conditions of migrant workers in countries such as Qatar have been in the spotlight. How does South Africa fare?
I mean, South Africa also, in terms of migrants, it's really not receiving very positive coverage.
Reviews, yeah.
Yes, particularly after the 2008 xenophobic violence.
Absolutely, yes.
So everyone thinks that South Africa is this xenophobic nation. Of course, in terms of perceptions on the ground, people think that migrants come here to take our jobs, to accept low salaries.
Take the women.
Yes, and yes, take our women. They never say take our men, for instance.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I mean, like recently there was this UN international conference on international migration and development. And one of the key things that South Africa committed there was to ensure that they championed the protection of the rights of migrants and the human rights of all in South Africa. So that's a positive, really a positive step. But there's a lot that needs to be done on the ground to promote the rights of migrants.
Speaking of xenophobia, now, South Africa was recently in the spotlight for those incidents of xenophobia. What has been done to bridge the gap between South African citizens and foreign nationals?
I mean, there's been a lot that's been done, to be honest, both by government, civil society, and other actors, for instance, to try and address xenophobia. And many of these activities have been done under the umbrella term of social cohesion. But the challenge is that most of these are really focusing on bridging the gap between ordinary South Africans and migrants themselves. What we are not doing as a country is then to also look at issues of leadership, because some of the research that's been done has shown that some of the attacks that are actually erupting in communities are perpetuated by some of the community leaders. So there's still a lot of work that we need to do there. But like I've said, there is a lot of work that's been done thus far, but we still have a long way to go to ensure that we promote their local integration.
Thank you so much, Mpilo, for joining us today. Well, that was Sicel'mpilo Shange-Buthane talking to us about the International Migrant Day being commemorated worldwide today.